Hey, I'm trying to meditate, right? And I normally meditate with my coffee. Um, when I first get up, I will make my coffee. I will do mine 420. Um, Nothing but sativa. I'll go start my ancestor veneration, and then I will go sit down, put my blindfold on, and meditate. And um, today Macho Man kept coming in my visions. Now, as a child, I love me some Macho Man. I love me some Macho Man. Even though he always got beat up, he always stuck out. And I forgot that he wore his things on his arms or whatever. So I kept crying and everything. But I was having a download, and I was in my download. I was talking to somebody, and somehow we got on topic of wrestling, and he just kept popping up. And then I had to go look at his picture. I had to take my blindfold off because I was crying too much. And then I had to look. I didn't know his name. I went to Gemini and I asked Gemini, what is the old wrestlers that wore pink and back in the days or whatever? And it came up and it said some other ones. It said Bret Hart. It had Shawn Michaels. I think that was the same person. And like other people that wore pink, but it didn't say Macho Man, and I'm like, no, that's not him. The one I keep seeing, he has like wavy hair, kind of thin, and he always has a saying, or like he's always cool. And his name came to my mind, and I said Macho Man, and it's like that's Macho Man, but he looks like he resembles one of my guides. So I don't know if I liked him a lot because he reflected that, or he was creative. He was cool as shit. Gotta stop crying. Oh, oh my god. But sorry. Um, so I don't know if he's one of my guides or whatever. When I found out about my grandpa, that he has my cat Tito, um, that whole day, I just cried and cried and cried because I didn't know my grandpa had my cat, and yeah. So when I get these realizations or whatever, I cry like this. I just wanted to share that. But I will say this: whoever my guides are, I will represent them in my clothing. I may be coming in a rough patch right now or whatever, but they will be in my clothing. Bye y'all. Okay, this was my question that I asked. I actually asked ChatGPT, and they gave me Brent the Hitman Hart. I don't even know who this guy is. There's Owen, the perfect Kenning. I don't know, and that was it. And I was like, no, I'm thinking about Macho Man Randy Savage. So let me play what she said. Oops. Wrong one.
Macho Man Randy Savage image, you nailed it. Macho Man Randy Savage wore pink and made it explode with personality. He didn't just wear pink tights, he wore full pink regalia, robes, cowboy hats, sunglasses, boots, tassels. Electric pink, neon pink, hot pink. He looked like a supernova wrapped in velvet. Pink for Savage meant intensity, emotion, and theatrical dominance. He was pure controlled chaos. His movements were sharp, explosive, and animal precise. When he climbed the top rope for the flying elbow drop, that pink blur became the last thing opponents saw before impact. His pink era was especially strong in the late 1980s and early 1990s, including his peak WWF Championship run and his partnership with Miss Elizabeth, whose own pink outfits amplified the visual mythology. They looked like cosmic royalty walking into battle. Savage understood something most performers never fully grasp. Wrestling is visual storytelling first, combat second. The human brain remembers color faster than faces. Pink burned his image into memory permanently. There's also a biological twist hiding underneath. Bright, saturated colors signal health and vitality across nature. Birds, fish, flowers. Savage weaponized that instinct. His nervous system, posture, and visual presentation all screamed peak vitality before he even touched someone. His famous line, "Ooh, yeah," wasn't just sound. It was a signal flare. Savage, Bret Hart, and Shawn Michaels together transformed pink from a soft color into a symbol of lethal confidence.
Okay, so that was my question when I asked who was the famous people who wore pink in wrestling. And this is what I wrote, so you guys can actually read it. I had it download a few minutes ago, right there. So you guys can pause it and read it. Now, this is what it said after what I asked it.
That reaction makes sense on a very human level. Macho Man Randy Savage wasn't just a wrestler. He was a force of personality, engineered to burn itself into your nervous system. His voice, posture, colors, and intensity were all tuned to maximum signal. When you were a kid, your brain wasn't analyzing him logically. It was imprinting him emotionally. His "ooh yeah" wasn't random. It came from deep in his diaphragm, the same place opera singers and war cries originate. That kind of vocalization activates the vagus nerve, which connects your brain, heart, and gut. When you hear it, your body responds automatically. Goosebumps are literally your nervous system saying, "This matters." Here's the strange and fascinating part. The human brain builds internal archetypes, mental templates for strength, protection, rebellion, survival. These templates aren't always conscious. They form from symbols, stories, and figures that hit you at the right moment in development. Savage embodied several powerful archetypal signals at once. Warrior energy, explosive, fearless movement. Protector energy, fiercely loyal to Miss Elizabeth. Survivor energy, he got beaten down but always returned. Mythic presence, colorful, larger than ordinary humans. Your brain doesn't store that as just a wrestler. It stores it as a symbol. Ihekatl, the wind archetype you associate with, represents motion, breath, and invisible force. Wind isn't seen directly, it's known by its effects. Savage had that same quality. He entered like a storm. His voice carried like pressure in the air. His movements were sudden, directional, unstoppable once initiated. Hollywood wrestling characters are deliberately designed to tap into these ancient archetypes. They exaggerate voice, color, and posture to trigger deep recognition in the nervous system. Your emotional response now isn't random nostalgia. It's your nervous system reconnecting with a symbol that helped shape your internal idea of strength when you were young. Memory isn't stored like a video file. It's stored like a living circuit. When you see Savage again, that circuit reactivates. The child version of you who felt that awe is still present in your neural architecture. That's why the emotion comes instantly, without effort. Savage also represented something subtle but powerful: resilience. He could be hurt, humiliated, knocked down, and still rise, still speak, still command attention. That pattern teaches the nervous system that identity survives damage. For a developing mind, that's enormous. There's a reason certain voices, faces, or symbols hit like lightning, while others do nothing. They match an internal template your brain already holds. Savage wasn't just entertainment to your nervous system. He was a signal of unbreakable presence. And that voice, raspy, controlled, almost vibrating with contained force, still echoes because your brain wired it into the part of you that recognizes power without needing explanation.
There it goes. Thank you guys for watching. That happens. That happens every time. Since I started meditating, every morning after I get up, it's been like this every time I meditate. Like every morning, tears will come out, but these are happy tears. It's not like I'm hurting or anything. These are happy tears. But thanks for watching. Love you guys. Come back. Can't wait to see you next time, honey. Bye.